This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chatto. Here in Canada, it isn't enough that we are no longer teaching our young children any useful skills, telling them the party sausage or bonus hole between their legs is a meaningless accoutrement. We are now promoting the concept of unlearning. They even have a poster. This comes by way of Chanel, a former high school teacher who became former when she insisted on just teaching. Can't have that. Here, the activist teachers at Sotheby Public School in Kitchener, Ontario, got a demo on how to use unlearn posters in their classrooms. And this is what the teachers wrote on it. The white masses had an easier journey. Remember, this person became a teacher, is well paid, and gets 2 months off each year. The path to education is not the same for all. Racism. For this person infantilizing people of color, telling them hard work is meaningless, that you were born in a worthless shell, sounds very inspiring to us. The educational experience isn't the same for everyone. That is certainly true. One has to find an actual experience that provides education. Of course, the silly nonsense the activist teachers added is exactly the kind of responses they want to elicit from the students with an emphasis on race. Heaven help the student who yells out, self-reliance and responsibility. The teacher would have a nervous breakdown and send the child to the chokey for re-education. But what is this unlearn? Let's go to their website. Inspire, positive, change. Is this a sentence? Or is each capitalized word supposed to stand on its own? Because positive is not a verb unless you're Cheech and Chong. So unlearn is an illiterate organization. Bad start, we'd say. Our training and resources break down systemic barriers and help pave the way toward a more equitable future. Are you ready to unlearn? This is an utterly meaningless sentence, including the fact that barriers are systemic. That's what makes them barriers. Doesn't paving involve the use of asphalt? You anti-climate change monsters. And then they conclude with equitable, which we all know has nothing to do with equality, and future, which no one can predict, but I'll predict that the teachers who are supposed to be teaching math are much happier wasting the class's time with this nonsense. Let's move on. Critical thinking by design. This is a clever dodge designed to make people believe you actually include critical thinking. But let's not be cynical and read your explanatory abstract. Unlearn is a social enterprise with a passion for provoking critical thought, challenging social norms, and inspiring positive change. We use thought-provoking design to challenge people to think about their unconscious biases, strengthen their equity lens, and advocate for social justice and human rights. 76 words expended describing absolutely nothing. What does challenging societal norms mean? Are you going after people named Norm? If you're teaching this in an inner-city school suffering from murders, truancy, sexual violence, and disrespect for teachers, will you be challenging their social norms? Does your passion for provoking critical thought include telling the 6'5" student to put you down? And, of course, you include your favorite musical hits, such as Positive Change, everyone's favorite Unconscious Biases, Who Can Forget Equity Lens, and the global dance chart topper Social Justice and Human Rights. In other words, nothing. Here you proclaim, let's create a better tomorrow. Do you have any data on what issues exist now? In what severity? What needs to be prioritized and how far into the future it will conclude? Maybe Your accompanying text will explain it. We're here to empower change. When we stand united, we create not just a better tomorrow, but a future that inspires generations to come. Sorry, apparently not. Change is not inherently good. Hate for you to empower bad change. By standing united, you mean that no alternative perspectives will be permitted? How do you know the tomorrow that you created will actually be better? Have you watched Fallout on Amazon Prime? So far, we're not impressed with your offering. Are we ready to unlearn? Don't you have to have learned something first before you can unlearn it? We're very concerned that the Canadian educational system has deteriorated to such an extent that the lifeless husks it produces will have nothing to unlearn. Have you seen our math and English scores? And how are you accomplishing these impressive goals? Oh, through poster packs and murals. We're certain that's how Elon Musk built SpaceX. Do you have data showing the success of these poster packs and murals? Clearly, you just need to point to the contribution of those activist teachers from earlier. This all sounds very much like something called the Hunger Project. You might have heard of it. It was big in the 80s. It was a scam created by Erhard Seminar Training, a hugely successful and notorious cult famous for getting impressionable teens to run away from home and disavow their family. The goal of the Hunger Project was to mount a massive publicity campaign promoting the end of hunger. I asked the Canadian representative for the Hunger Project what they were going to do with the money raised. She said, put it into marketing like pamphlets. If the world could believe hunger could be ended, it would happen. That was it. No useful programs, no transfers of money to communities in need. The Hunger Project was essentially just poster packs and murals. And that's exactly what this unlearn grift is. Just poster packs and murals. But wait 1 second. Over at Macklin Public School in Toronto, they are learning the same nonsense in this Cultivating Genius program. But they are calling it deep learning. What is CRRP? We don't know, but you've given it the right sounding acronym. What is joy? Not having to go through this program. What are the 5 pursuits? We have no idea, but it seems you are better organized than that unlearn cult. Which is it? Unlearning or deep learning? We are so confused. Conclusive proof that you need to homeschool your children. This is appalling news, and that's the way it is.